What's up, everybody? Real quick before we get into the interview, I wanted to thank Wrestling Daze for taking the time out of his busy schedule to sit down and talk to us. This is a two-part interview, so if you're not subscribed, subscribe. If you're not following us on Twitter, follow us on Twitter, and we will put up part 2 tomorrow. And once again, thank you, Wrestling Daze, and enjoy the video. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Coaster Maniacs. Today I am joined by the one and only Wrestling Daze.
Hello everyone. Hello Coaster Maniacs. Thank you for having me on your channel. Big thrill. And I've got to say as well, big thank you for, being such an active member of our community over on the Wrestling Daze channel as well. It's honestly really great to sit down and talk with you.
Absolutely. Now, so for anybody that hasn't been subscribed or new to your channel, or haven't seen you before, what is it that you do?
Well, that's a very good question. That's the kind of question that I ask myself every single day as well. What is it that I actually do? Well, what we do over on the Wrestling Days channel is we do watch-alongs. I'm a big, passionate wrestling fan, and I always used to watch wrestling on my own. And so for me, I always wanted someone to talk to about what it was that we had just seen. So that's kind of where the channel came from. I just wanted to reach out to other wrestling fans and talk about wrestling. And now, pretty much whenever WWE have got a show on, be it a weekly show or one of their big pay-per-view shows, then we're doing a watch along for it as well. And as I said, it's been absolutely brilliant seeing you jump over and seeing you interacting with our community as well. So just from me, a big thank you. It's a real honor to be here.
It's an honor myself. Always looking for something to do when I'm watching Raw or SmackDown. Always a pleasure to hop over there and give my thoughts or anything that I feel to fill time and make new friends. That's what it's all about.
Yes.
It's a big community over there.
Yeah.
So you were aware, I'm sure, of all the events that's happened in the last couple of days, all the news, and of course the passing of Howard Fink.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on? I know you made a video the other day of a little bit of your reaction to all the people being released. But what are your now that we had time to actually process a little bit more overnight? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it came out of the blue. I don't think any of us were really expecting this news. There was no rumors of this news, and to actually be sitting there and seeing the names coming through, because obviously they didn't come through in one group. These were kind of dripping through, being fed through, and you didn't know who was next. And it must have been awful to have been a WWE superstar sat there just looking at the phone and keeping your fingers crossed that it didn't ring. So I can't even put myself in their shoes for how bad that must have been. And people like Mike Chioda, who was a referee and had been a referee since 1989. Yeah, one phone call and it's done. I mean, that's his life's work, just done and gone. And even people like Zack Ryder that had been around, I think 15 years. I think Heath Slater had been around for about that length of time as well. And this is, I think, why it felt like such a gut punch was because this wasn't just people losing jobs. This was people losing livelihoods and income, of course, but this is all they've ever wanted to do. This is their dream jobs. This isn't just, you can't go out and find another WWE. There isn't one. They're literally the only company that are that size. So, once you leave those guys, where do you go next? It's not like, say, leaving a shop, for example, and then going to apply for a different shop. If you leave one supermarket, you might be able to apply for a different supermarket. The wrestling world's not like that. So I really felt for them, and it really showed that, the impact that this is having on on the economy is now starting to really, really be felt. And my thoughts go out to anyone and everyone that's been affected by this, because we're certainly seeing a lot of shops and businesses starting to now close here in the UK. Are you starting to see that in the US as well?
Absolutely. We've been shut down for ever since the beginning of March now. And it's just been crazy. You can't even go outside now without wearing a mask or gloves, or else they're gonna try to fine you.
Right.
And it's just getting more and more progressive over the next couple of weeks. The worst thing about all this, it's not like they're getting let go because of the their job itself or not how good they did. They're just getting let go because they need to save money.
Yes.
Yes. And for anybody that's joining us that's from the coaster community, doesn't have any idea what we're talking about, the WWE just let go, what was it, 20 plus wrestlers now?
Yeah, 20,
Yeah.
20 plus wrestlers, but at the time of recording this, we don't know that there won't be more.
Yeah, that's the sad part about it, is they're saying there could be a second wave coming. Hopefully not, but with the economy the way it is right now, it seems more likely that the news might be coming out later today. Um, but it's not a good time to be a wrestler, and they can't even go to like independent shows or anything like that because everybody's in the same kind of boat. It looks like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's everyone's struggling. There's been a lot of independent companies that have sadly folded in recent years. I think the whole indie scene is struggling as well. So I don't know. I mean, I know that this probably isn't the most upbeat start to this chat, but I suppose the world isn't a very upbeat place at the moment. You know, there's real struggles going on. So I suppose it makes sense to touch on those. But
Yes, when we planned on doing this, I had a completely different conversation in my head, and just in the
yes.
matter of the day, just. But do you think we're gonna see more of the stars? I would say X stars now pop up on YouTube and make shows, or
Yeah, I mean, I think you could definitely. I think all options are on the table for them. Some may go to other companies. Some might. Some might eventually find their way back to WWE. Like we've seen Drew McIntyre return, we've seen Jinder return, and Bobby Lashley return, and Shelton Benjamin return. So it wouldn't surprise me to see a couple of these names return to WWE in the next couple of years. Some could go to other wrestling companies, but obviously we don't know what that situation looks like. And some could go and go start their own training schools, or try and open their own little promotions, or yes, go to YouTube. You would think that Zack Ryder in particular would probably have some kind of future in the toy business. You would think that Mattel might be quite interested in acquiring his services, or it's so hard to say because it's all so fresh, isn't it? I suppose they're still trying to process this news themselves, but again, I know when we said that we were going to be doing this video and we were going to be having this conversation, this obviously isn't a conversation I was expecting us to be having, but I think it's right that we do have it, because we are talking about one of the darkest days in the history of wrestling. It will go down as Black Wednesday. Do you remember that day when 20 wrestlers were released? And not only that, I think there was like 9 backstage producers that were furloughed as well. So there's even more. I mean, there's NXT talent that hasn't even been officially reported by WWE. There's a whole second wave that's heavily rumored, and it's awful. It's honestly awful at the moment. So
and who knows about like camera crew, people that set up and break down the rings,
yeah,
even people at the performance center themselves who just maybe were just starting out. That could be a crushing blow to them if you just got there and something that was totally out of your control is the reason why you leave.
yeah,
Now, there is a lot of people, I've been sent this a couple of times over the last couple hours. the whole Zack Ryder getting a shout out basically from Cody Rhodes in AEW.
Okay. Yep.
Uh, I guess Cody tweeted out a picture or something when Zack won the IC title at
Hmm.
WrestleMania and said that his better days are ahead of him. What are your thoughts on Zack Ryder to AEW?
Yeah, I mean it could happen. I suppose Cody's got a history with Zack Ryder. I think there's a friendship there. I would be surprised if AEW didn't pick up Rusev. I would feel like Rusev has more. It's a hard conversation to have because you want to see them all back in employment. You know,
Absolutely.
I don't necessarily want to be sitting here saying, "Oh, they should go for this person over this person," but I think you just look at Rusev and you can see that, I mean, he drove out, he's had that entrance with the tank that was incredible, and people were really excited. Again, John Cena getting a victory that maybe he shouldn't have gotten. I know people were upset that he got the win over Bray at WrestleMania 30. I think
Yeah,
people
yeah.
were upset he got the win over Rusev at WrestleMania 31. Because if Rusev had won that and they'd continued to build him up, he could have been a proper main event talent. But as it was, after that loss to Cena, he kind of just fell to the mid card. It kind of felt like they'd built him up literally to feed him to Cena, and that was it. That was all they really ever had planned for him. And then he got
Dropped him
himself,
down to League of Nations and
yeah, ugh, horrible. And then of course he kind of got Rusev Day over all by himself, didn't he? So I feel like Zack Ryder to AEW makes a lot of sense because he can help with their brand new toy line. I think he's got a lot of experience. I think he's got a lot of people in AEW that respect him. But can I necessarily see him going on to be a main eventer and think? I'm not sure I can, to be honest. But someone like Rusev, I think I could. So, but look, I want to go back and make sure that people aren't misconstruing what I'm saying. I want to make my message very clear that I wish them all the best. I hope they all go and find employment because none of them have lost their jobs in this situation down to anything that they did. It wasn't their fault. So yeah, I
Gene
wish.
Snitsky. It wasn't their fault. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish him. I wish that Ryder the best. I hope that AEW does come in for him and that it works out.
Yeah, I think same for us over here. I mean, everybody deserves to still be there that got let go. And again, we don't know who else is to come. It's just a tough time to be in that locker room, especially after that they had to perform NXT this week. And I don't know how they did it, seeing everybody get let go, but more power to all those people that went out and did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be on the brighter side of things, though, did you see that the Undertaker is doing the All In challenge?
Yes, I did. Now, I've got to be honest, the challenges have kind of passed me by. I saw the Don't Rush challenge because the WWE superstars did that. And I saw the All In challenge, which at first I thought had something to do with AEW. I didn't
Yeah,
know.
me as well.
I didn't know what it was. But apparently it's like some kind of package that the celebrities put together, so and that someone can win. Is it? So I don't actually know what you get if you win. Is that what it is? Like it's some kind of
Yeah,
yeah.
so Undertaker announced it, and then they actually made an article about it. It's actually, it's basically a bidding, an auction, and if you win, you and your friend gets flown down to Texas and have a dinner with the Undertaker himself,
It's very cool.
and they'll talk about wrestling, and then they're actually going to. He said himself that he's going to bring one of his robes or jackets that he wore and give it to the person that wins.
Wow.
And right now, as of about a couple hours ago, the bidding was at $4,200.
I mean, it sounds really cool. My only problem with it is that that's just really great for rich people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
It'd definitely be a once in a lifetime experience, but
If it was like a random raffle that anyone might win, I would be a lot more excited about that challenge. But the fact that
There
it's
is there is a lot of celebrities that are actually doing that challenge that do have it being a raffle where you pay a couple of dollars and you get entries.
that's
So they're
so
doing
that's
it both ways.
that's so much better. That's so much
Yeah,
better because I haven't really got much interest in seeing Donald Trump Jr. go down to meet the Undertaker or someone along that, someone that's very wealthy that's going to be
yeah.
able to bid an extortionate amount of money. So, yeah, I don't know. No, these challenges, I think some of them are fun. Some of them are a little bit, for me, a little bit misguided. But
I think that might be what a lot of people are going to spend their checks that they got over here from
on those kind of
ourselves.
challenges.
I mean, that'd be something that I would do, but I'm gonna, I'm looking to save a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Once again, this was part one. Part two of the interview with Wrestling Daze will come out tomorrow. So subscribe if you haven't already, and follow us, Coaster Maniacs, on Twitter. Thanks for watching.